Hello and welcome to the Unassisted Triple Play. I am your host, Hunter Mulholland, and yesterday was opening day. Today, we have a slate of games. Most teams are going to be on their scheduled off day before continuing their opening set on Saturday and Sunday. Only 9 games today, which we will get to in a little bit, but before we do, want to go over yesterday's game. So the first game in North America, because the season began in Japan with the Cubs and the Dodgers. The first games in North America took place yesterday, and the Yankees took on the Brewers for the first game of the day. There was a delay in the Orioles and Blue Jays game, who was supposed to start at the same time. Carlos Rodon got the win over Freddie Peralta again in the Yankees and Brewers game, including an Austin Wells leadoff home run. The Yankees went to bat in the bottom of the first, and the very first AB for the New York Yankees was Austin Wells on a 2-0 count. He hit a home run to right center field to lead off the season for the New York Yankees, which continued as Volpe would hit a homer in the bottom of the second. The Brewers would answer back with a homer of their own from Vinny Capra. Then the Yankees would answer back in the top of the sixth, scoring the Yankees didn't answer back. Yankees answered back in the bottom of the seventh. Aaron Judge doubled, scoring one. Top of the ninth, the Yankees would get themselves into some trouble. Bryce Train would hit a sac fly, but it would not be enough for the Yankees. With the bases loaded and nobody out, they get a sac fly, and back-to-back strikeouts for Devin Williams leads the Yankees to a 4-2 victory. Big day for the Bronx, as Austin Wells, like I said, started the game off with a home run. The Yankees got that leadoff home run on opening day. There were a lot of questions about Austin Wells leading off for the Yankees, and he silenced that on the very first at-bat of 2025. We'll say, going back to my predictions from yesterday, I went 2 for 3. Devin Williams did slam the door against his old team and recorded an opening day save in this game. And in our next game, the Orioles and the Blue Jays, once they finally got underway, Zach Eflin took on Jose Barrios. Jose Barrios would get the loss, as Zach Eflin would get the win when the Orioles won by a score of 12-2 in the opening day game in Canada. Adley Rutschman would hit 2 home runs, one in the first off of Barrios and one in the 8th off of Rodriguez. And Mr. Opening Day himself, coming into today with a streak of 5 straight opening days with a home run, will extend the streak, as in the 3rd inning off of Jose Barrios with two runners on, Tyler O'Neill would go yard, extending his already major league record streak of 5 games to 6 games. 6 straight opening days for Tyler O'Neill to hit a home run. That was another prediction. That also came true. Cedric Mullins would also have 2 himself, And Jordan Westberg would get one in the 8th as well. The Orioles, after all the questions in the offseason on whether or not their pitching was going to be enough, their offense says, hold on, we've got this. They're going to go out and they're going to hit 6 home runs on opening day. They had a blast out in Baltimore. The Blue Jays would also get a home run as Jimenez would go yard off of Eflin for a 2-run home run, being the only score for the Blue Jays yesterday. So far, if you are keeping track of my predictions, I had the Yankees and the Orioles winning both of those games, so I am correct. 2 for 2 so far on the day. We get to my first loss, though, as the Red Sox take on the Rangers in Arlington. Former Ranger Aroldis Chapman ended up getting the win, as the Red Sox would win 5-2, scoring 3 in the 9th to take the lead. Home runs by Abreu. No home runs for the Rangers. Garrett Crochet went 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts before turning it over to the bullpen. Garrett Whitlock, Aroldis Chapman, and Slayton would finish the game out. Chapman getting the win, Slayton getting the save. Nathan Eovaldi had a strong day. This was a 2-2 ball game for most of it. The Red Sox would score in the 3rd and the 5th, 1 each. The Rangers in the 2nd and the 4th, 1 each. So both times that the Rangers scored, the Red Sox would answer back. But in the 9th inning, the Red Sox would run away with it, as Tristan Casas was called out on strikes. It's in a 2-2 ball game. Eventually, Kristen Campbell would single, and Trevor Story would be on third base, and that leaves us to Wilyer Abreu, who would homer on a line drive to right center field. Trevor Story and David Hamilton would come across the score, giving a 3-run lead to the Boston Red Sox before they would enter the bottom of the 9th, and Slayton would go in and shut the door down with 1 strikeout. The next game, Philadelphia versus Washington. Had the Phillies win in this one? They do, 7-3. Keibert Ruiz started the scoring off for the Nationals with a home run in the bottom of the 5th inning. And it would be silent until the 7th, when the Phillies would get on the board, as Bryce Harper would homer. And then Kyle Schwarber would homer, giving the Phillies a 2-1 lead in the top of the 7th. Nobody came across the score in the bottom of the 7th despite the Nationals applying some pressure. The Phillies would tack on 1 more in the top of the 8th on a wild pitch. In the bottom of the 8th, the Nationals would answer back, tying the game at 3 before going into extra innings, where in the top of the 10th, Alec Bohm would double, Bryson Stott and Bryce Harper would score, giving the Phillies a 5-3 lead before JT Realmuto tripled. Alec Bohm and Kyle Schwarber would score, leading to a 7-3 lead, which would hold as the Phillies would stave off the division rival Washington Nationals. In our second game that went to extras on opening day, the Guardians and the Royals. I had the Royals winning this one. I was incorrect. The Cleveland Guardians would come out on top. Cole Reagans, not a fantastic showing. 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Not his best performance. It is also opening day. I still think he is going to be a fantastic arm for the Royals this season. The Royals wearing their beautiful powder blues with the brand new retro throwback batting helmet. Looks fantastic. It is by far one of my favorite color combinations and jersey combinations in the league. Anyways, in the bottom of the third, Vinny Pasquantino would homer on a fly ball to right center field. A 3-run jack, giving the Royals a 3-0 lead early before the top of the 6th, as the Guardians would answer back. Guardians would answer back in the 4th and the 5th, but would really answer back and take the lead in the 6th with a 2-run home run by Kyle Manzardo. From there, it is 4-3 until the bottom of the 9th. Michael Massey would hit a sac fly that would tie the ball game, sending us to extra innings, where the Guardians would score 3 in the top of the 10th to take the lead and win the game. Manuel Clase gets the win. Paul Sewald gets the save. Sam Long for the Royals would get the loss. Moving on to our next game. There's a lot of games from yesterday. We're going to have to get moving here a little bit. The Astros beat the Mets by a score of 3-1. Players to note in this one are Framber Valdez, who goes 7 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. The Astros pitching was phenomenal all day long, holding the Mets scoreless through 8. In the 9th inning, they finally get one off of Hader. Hader is able to get the save and slam the door against the boys from Queens. Juan Soto, in his Mets debut, goes 1 for 3 with 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Overall, a really, really strong game. The Astros took the lead early, had a 3-run lead after the 3rd, and just held it from there. The Giants took on the Reds. Heliot Ramos would hit a home run, and Wilmer Flores would hit a home run in the top of the 9th as the Giants would win 6-4. Logan Webb, 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Hunter Green, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, and 2 earned runs and 8 strikeouts. Really strong day from Hunter Green, but the Reds were unable to get it done for him. Moving out west, the Padres take on the Braves. I had the Braves winning this one. They end up losing by a score of 7-4 to the Padres. It was a phenomenal game. Early in the game, Braves score 1. Padres answer back in the bottom of the 1st. Top of the 3rd, Braves answer back, get the lead back. Padres tie it back up in the bottom of the 3rd. Braves would take the lead back again in the top of the 4th, and it would stay that way until the bottom of the 7th. When, with nobody out, nobody on, Gavin Sheets would hit a home run, tying the ball game at 4. Before the Padres would capitalize and take the lead 7-4. Sorry, 7-4. 7-4. And take the lead 7-4 in the 7th. And they would hold it from there, winning the game yesterday. Probably the least anticipated and excited ball game of the day was actually really, really fun to watch, as the White Sox took on the Angels in the south side of Chicago. The White Sox coming off of that historic year that they are not massive fans of. But Burke would get the win and Kikuchi would get the loss as the White Sox would cruise to an 8-1 victory. In the bottom of the 8th, Nicky Lopez would actually take over the pitching for 1 out. You only had to get 1 out, but it says something when you have a position player pitching on opening day. Might be a long season for Angels fans. Home runs in the game include Logan O'Hoppe, who got one in the 9th. That's the only run that the Angels would get. Slater, Benintendi, Sosa, all three would go deep for the White Sox as the White Sox cruise to an 8-1 win. Another fun and interesting game. I had the Pirates win in this one. They would actually lose. My last prediction that I had from yesterday was that Paul Skeens was going to take a no-no through 7. He did not. He went 5 1/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Not a bad day from Skeens. Would have liked to see a little bit better because I would have looked like a genius had I gotten all 3 of my opening day predictions correct. Marlins would take the lead in the 3rd, followed by the Pirates answering back in the 5th, taking the lead 2-1 before getting another 2 in the 6th, taking the lead 4-1. Marlins would score 1 in the 6th before Skeens would exit. 7th is scoreless. 8th, the Marlins tie the ball game up at 4, go to the top of the 9th. The Pirates do not answer back, and it's tied going into the bottom of the 9th. Before Nick Fortes triples on a line drive, setting them up, nobody out, runner on 3rd. They intentionally walk a batter, Xavier Edwards. Edwards takes second base on defensive indifference. Before Kyer Stowers singles on a line drive to right, scoring the game, walking off the Pittsburgh Pirates on opening day. In St. Louis, the St. Louis Cardinals win by a score of 5-3 over the Minnesota Twins. Lars Nootbaar goes deep in the 2nd inning, giving the Cardinals a 3-0 lead. The Cardinals would tack on another in the 3rd, 4-0 Cardinals until the bottom of the 5th. The Twins would answer back. Former Cardinal Harrison Bader goes deep for a 2-run home run, getting the Twins on the board. In the 6th, the Twins would tack on another, making the score 4-3. Before in the bottom of the 8th, Nolan Arenado, who many thought was not going to be suiting up with the Birds on the bat this season, goes deep on opening day for his 5th career opening day home run. Not consecutively. He is not like Tyler O'Neill on opening day, but his 5th home run on opening day goes deep, gives the Cardinals fans, gets a curtain call. Cardinals would go on. They'd bring in Helsley. Helsley would come in, slam the door, getting 3 strikeouts as the Cardinals, after a delay, they had a rain delay, would get the win 5-3. Going back out west, the Dodgers take on the Detroit Tigers. The Dodgers would get the win 5-4. Dodgers score 1 in the 2nd. Tigers answer in the 4th and the 5th, for the Dodgers would get back and take the lead in the 5th of a score 4-2. Tigers answer again in the 7th. Dodgers right back. In the bottom of the half of the 7th, Tigers would score 1 in the 8th, and that would be it for the scoring. A final score of 4-5. Tariq Skubal, last year's Cy Young Award winner, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Not the performance that Tigers fans were looking for from him. He would get the loss in yesterday's game. Blake Snell for the Dodgers would go 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, leading the Dodgers to victory. The Dodgers would then go to 4 different pitchers to finish out the game, including Blake Trinan, who would get the save on opening day. For our final 2 games of the day, the Cubs are taking on the Diamondbacks in Arizona. A little late night West Coast baseball. The Diamondbacks would lose 10-6 as the Cubs would take the lead and never surrender it after the second inning. Couple big innings. The second and the third included 3-run innings for the Cubs, tacked on 2 more to make the score 10-5 in the top of the ninth. Diamondbacks would get 1 across in the bottom of the ninth, but it was too little, too late for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Zach Gallen would go 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, giving up 1 home run. Justin Steele for the Cubs, who would get the win, would go 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, also surrendering a home run. And another exciting finish was the Seattle Mariners taking on the Athletics. The Athletics would strike first, scoring in the 5th inning. The Mariners would then answer back in the 7th before the Athletics would take the lead back in the top of the 8th. The Mariners would take the lead back in exciting fashion as Randy Arozarena would tie the game on a home run, followed right after, 2 batters later, Jorge Polanco would give the Mariners a 2-run lead before Munoz would come in and close the door for the Seattle Mariners. That is all for yesterday's games. Previewing today's games, the Rockies and the Rays are finally going to get underway. I know I told you guys yesterday, if you're a Rocky or a Rays fan, hold on. Enjoy some baseball yesterday. Your guys are getting started tomorrow. Tomorrow has come. The Rockies and the Rays will open down in Florida. The Rays obviously playing in the minor league complex of the Yankees for this season, as the Trop was destroyed by the hurricane last year. We really hope that the Rays are able to find a new home for next year and everything is okay, and that entire community is okay. Ryan Peapot will take on Kyle Freeland for the Rockies and the Rays. I think the Rays are going to get the job done. We're not going to give every prediction. That's just the opening day theme that I wanted to stick with from yesterday. The Orioles and the Blue Jays, Charlie Morton will take on Kevin Gausman. Later tonight, the only game early is at 4:10 Eastern for the Rays and the Rockies. Everything else is 7 o'clock or later. The Pirates and the Marlins, Mitch Keller for Pittsburgh, Gillespie for the Marlins, followed by the Rangers and the Red Sox. Again, Tanner Houck versus Jack Leiter. The Mets and the Astros, Miguel and Brown. The Cubs and the Diamondbacks, Jameson Taillon and Kelly. The A's and the Mariners, Springs versus Luis Castillo. The Braves and the Padres, Lopez versus Dylan Cease. The Tigers and the Dodgers, Flaherty versus Yamamoto. So, yesterday's big games. There's a lot to unpack from yesterday's games. The big one is obviously it's opening day. If you won, awesome. If you lost, you got 161 more to go. Hopefully the Angels are not nearly as bad as yesterday would make it look. Having a position player pitching on opening day is not the best look in the world. As the White Sox got the win there, the White Sox hoping to bounce back from that loss, or the losing season last year, with that win yesterday and keep it rolling for them. Hopefully, they are in a better spot this season. Saw a lot of fun things. I hope you guys enjoyed opening day. We will be back to recap the weekend on Monday. Where we'll break down the weekend's games, probably just give a little rundown rather than talking about every single score or every single box score. We will break down the key highlights and the scores from the weekend, as Major League Baseball is back and the season continues to roll on. This has been the Unassisted Triple Play. I'm your host, Hunter Mulholland. I will see you guys on Monday at 9 a.m. Central.